Good day, sir, and my fellow classmates. I'm Kenna Comora Redobla, and for today I will discuss the Chapter 8, Imagining a Nation. Towards the end of 19th century, economic conditions in the Philippines had improved in such a way that it was possible for many Creole and Mestizo families to send their son to school not only in Manila but also in Europe. The young Filipino students who turned to the peninsula would awaken in their minds ideas about progress and love for their motherland. 19th century Spain going through several processes of change. Politically speaking, the Restoration put back into place the monarchy of Alonso XII and established a constitutional monarchy with a bicameral legislature. The Constitution of 1876 ensured that the political stability relied on the rotation of the liberal and conservative parties in the government. The parliamentary system of two parties, however, was weakened by managed elections and numerous turnovers of government employees. While the Constitution of 1876 declared Catholicism as the religion of the state, private sectors of other religions was tolerated. Church had little influence on political matters. The environment where Filipinos immersed themselves, environment allowed these young Filipino students to think, question, and imagine what nation is. So let's move to the vocabulary words. Cortes, legislative or lawmaking body of the Spanish government. Creole, a Spaniard born in the Philippines. Mestizo, an individual born of mixed ancestry, may refer to Spanish mestizo or Chinese mestizo. Propaganda, information used to promote or publicize a particular cause or point of view. Restoration refers to the Spanish Restoration, a period of Spanish history spanning the years 1874 to 1931 that saw the restoration of the monarchy under Alfonso XII together with the establishment of the bicameral legislature. The earliest attempt to unite Filipinos studying in Spain was the formation of the Círculo Hispano-Filipino, an organization under the leadership of a Creole Juan Atayde. It had the support of the Spaniards who were sympathetic towards Filipinos. The Círculo published a biweekly newspaper entitled Revista del Círculo Hispano-Filipino in 1882 but only lasted 1883. In 1883, periodical entitled Luz dos Mundos came out with the intention of demanding for the overseas Hispanic colonies equality of rights and equal opportunities for progress. Although it could not be determined whether the newspaper was a Filipino project, Garciano Lopez Haina and Pedro Govantes Y. Arzaga involved as staff members. Other Filipino like Rizal and Eduardo de Leti also contributed articles concerned with socio-political and economic reforms in the Philippines. During the time of Rizal's first novel, Noli Me Tangere, came out 1887, another newspaper titled Hispana and Filipinas began its publication through the support of Creoles and Mestizos in Madrid. The newspaper also short-lived because of glaring differences and internal feuding o pagtatalo among its staff. In 1889, Filipino community in Barcelona prepares for the new publication of Periodical, a magazine or newspaper published at regular intervals. Supporters are Marciano Ponce and Pablo Rianzares, Garciano Lopez Haina as editor. Marcelo H. Del Pilar also joined the efforts. In February 15, 1889, La Solidaridad first released. First article, the staff defined its program as to combat all reaction, to impede all retrogression, to applaud and accept every liberal idea, to defend all progress. Newspaper sought Philippine representation in the Cortes, freedom for the press, and the end of the practice of excelling residents without due process. La Solidaridad often ran articles dealing with Spanish politics, attacks on fires, and reform for the Philippines. Among who contributed articles were Jose Rizal, Dominador Gomez, Jose Maria Panganiban, Antonio Luna, and renowned Filipinist scholar Ferdinand Blumentritt. Del Pilar gradually took on the active role of running the paper. Lopez Haina editor and spent most of his days in cafes and was known to be incapable of sustained work. Del Pilar decided to go to Madrid with the paper, and on November 15, 1889, first issue printed in Madrid came out. By 1890, Rizal always held the opinion that to serve the country better, one had to bring the issues closer to home. One had to speak to the Filipinos rather than the Spaniards. Del Pilar, on the other hand, was a skillful politician who felt that efforts at persuading the Spanish leaders and officials needed to be continued, and that this was the best way to achieve the reforms Filipinos were seeking. Things came to a head when a New Year's Eve banquet in 1891, 3 inclusive ballots on the first day and 2 more ballots on the second day, Rizal won because of the manipulation of Marciano Ponce. Few weeks later, Rizal left. Rizal stopped in contributing in La Solidaridad, rather focused on writing novels. The periodical only lasts until 1895. Because of lack of found and internal feuding, newspaper released its final issue on November 15, 1895. On its final issue, its editor Del Pilar had written, "We are persuaded that no sacrifices are too little to win the rights, that the liberty of the nation that is oppressed by slavery." So that's all for my report. I hope you learned something. Again, I'm Ken Nakamura Redobla, your discussant in Chapter 8, Imagining a Nation. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.